Imagine a ship sailing through icy waters, navigating through a labyrinth of icebergs and frozen seas. It's on a journey across the top of the world where the Arctic winds howl and the temperatures plummet. This is the Northwest Passage, a legendary route that has fascinated explorers for centuries. The Northwest Passage is a sea route through the Arctic Ocean, weaving through a maze of ice and islands. It connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, offering a potential shortcut for maritime travel. The passage winds through a group of islands, each with its own unique landscape and challenges. These islands belong to Canada, forming part of the country's vast and remote northern territories. They are located north of the Canadian mainland in a region that is both beautiful and forbidding. For centuries, the Northwest Passage was blocked by ice, making it an almost mythical challenge for explorers. This made it impossible for ships to pass, trapping many in the unforgiving Arctic environment. The Northwest Passage was important for a long time, as it promised a shorter route for global trade. It promised a shorter route for trade, potentially revolutionizing the shipping industry. Ships could travel between Europe and Asia faster, bypassing the longer and more treacherous routes. This would save time and money, making global trade more efficient and cost-effective. However, the ice made the journey too dangerous, with many ships succumbing to the harsh conditions. The Northwest Passage remains a challenging route, even with modern technology and icebreakers. But climate change is making a difference. The ice is melting, altering the landscape of the Arctic. This is opening the passage for longer periods, allowing more ships to navigate through these waters. The Northwest Passage is becoming a symbol of a changing Arctic, reflecting the profound impacts of global warming. The Northwest Passage is like a maze through frozen islands, a labyrinthine route that has fascinated explorers for centuries. It twists and turns through the Canadian Arctic Archipelago, a region known for its harsh and unforgiving environment. This is a vast area with thousands of islands, each one unique in its icy beauty and treacherous conditions. It's located north of mainland Canada in a remote and largely uninhabited part of the world. The passage begins in the east, where the icy waters of the Atlantic meet the Arctic. The entrance is either through Baffin Bay or Davis Strait, both of which are known for their challenging navigation conditions. These waterways lie between Greenland and Canada, forming a natural gateway to the Arctic. From there, ships navigate west through narrow channels, often battling ice and extreme weather. Some of the most famous waterways include Parry Channel and McClure Strait, both of which have historical significance. These channels are often choked with ice, even in summer, making navigation a constant challenge. The passage also goes past large islands, which serve as landmarks for those brave enough to traverse these waters. Baffin Island and Victoria Island are two examples, both known for their rugged landscapes and unique ecosystems. Finally, the Northwest Passage emerges in the west, opening up to new horizons. It empties into the Beaufort Sea, a body of water that is crucial for Arctic marine life. This sea connects to the Pacific Ocean through the Bering Strait, creating a vital link between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. The entire route is thousands of kilometers shorter than going south around South America, offering a quicker, albeit more perilous, path for maritime travel. For centuries, explorers dreamed of conquering the Northwest Passage, a fabled sea route that would connect the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans through the Arctic archipelago of Canada. This elusive passage promised a shorter and more efficient route for trade between Europe and Asia, sparking the imaginations and ambitions of many. The search for a northern route to Asia began in the 15th century, driven by the desire to find a more direct path to the riches of the East. European nations, eager to expand their trade networks and increase their wealth, sent out numerous expeditions to chart these unknown waters. European explorers were looking for a faster way to trade with the East, hoping to bypass the long and perilous journey around the southern tip of Africa. The promise of untold wealth and new territories drove them to brave the icy waters of the Arctic. One of the earliest attempts was by John Cabot in 1497. Cabot, an Italian navigator sailing under the English flag, believed he could find a westward route to Asia by navigating through the northern seas. He sailed from England, hoping to find a shortcut to Asia, but instead he landed on the coast of North America. Although he didn't find the passage he sought, his journey marked the beginning of European exploration in the New World. While he didn't find the passage, his journey helped map the North Atlantic, providing valuable information for future explorers. His voyages laid the groundwork for subsequent expeditions and increased European interest in the region. Other explorers followed, each facing the treacherous Arctic conditions. The harsh climate, unpredictable ice flows, and uncharted waters made these expeditions incredibly dangerous and often deadly. Sir Martin Frobisher made 3 voyages to the Arctic in the 1570s. He was determined to find the Northwest Passage and bring back riches to England. He explored the area around Baffin Island, believing it could be the key to unlocking the passage. His expeditions were marked by both discovery and disappointment. He believed he had found gold, but it turned out to be worthless pyrite, commonly known as fool's gold. Despite this setback, his voyages contributed to the growing body of knowledge about the Arctic region. His voyages did increase knowledge of the region, paving the way for future explorers. The detailed maps and observations from his expeditions were invaluable for those who followed in his footsteps. One of the most famous expeditions was led by Sir John Franklin in 1845. Franklin, a seasoned explorer, set out with 2 ships, HMS Erebus and HMS Terror, to finally chart the Northwest Passage. He set sail with 2 ships, HMS Erebus and HMS Terror, to finally chart the Northwest Passage. The expedition was well-equipped and well-prepared, but the Arctic's harsh conditions proved to be too much. The expedition met a tragic end. The ships became trapped in the ice, unable to break free. The ships became trapped in the ice, and despite their best efforts, the crew could not escape the frozen grip of the Arctic. Franklin and his crew perished, their fate remaining a mystery for many years. The loss of the Franklin expedition was a sobering reminder of the dangers of Arctic exploration. Despite the dangers, explorers continued to seek the passage. The allure of discovering a new route and the potential for fame and fortune drove many to risk their lives in the icy waters of the Arctic. Roald Amundsen, a Norwegian explorer, successfully navigated the Northwest Passage between 1903 and 1906. His achievement marked a significant milestone in the history of Arctic exploration. He traveled slowly in a small ship, relying on the knowledge of the Inuit people. Their expertise in surviving the harsh Arctic conditions was crucial to his success, demonstrating the importance of indigenous knowledge in exploration. The Arctic has changed dramatically in recent decades. Temperatures are rising. This is causing the sea ice to melt at an alarming rate. As a result, the Northwest Passage is becoming more accessible. In the 21st century, ships have been able to navigate parts of the passage more easily. In 2007, the Canadian Coast Guard ship Amundsen became the first vessel to transit the Northwest Passage in a single season without getting stuck in the ice. This event marked a turning point. It showed that the passage could be navigable for longer periods. Larger vessels, including cruise ships and cargo ships, have also begun to use the passage. The melting ice has opened up new possibilities, but it also raises concerns about environmental impacts and the need for responsible navigation in this fragile region. The Northwest Passage is home to a delicate ecosystem. Animals like polar bears, walruses, and seals depend on the ice for hunting and breeding. The melting ice threatens their habitat. Increased shipping traffic brings a number of risks. One of the biggest concerns is the potential for oil spills. A spill would be devastating to the Arctic environment. It would be very difficult to clean up in such a remote and icy region. Noise pollution from ships can also disrupt marine life. Whales, for example, rely on sound to communicate. The noise from ships' engines can interfere with their ability to find food and mates. The presence of ships also increases the risk of introducing invasive species. These species can outcompete native plants and animals. This can disrupt the balance of the ecosystem. Section 6. Whose passage is it anyway? Political and legal disputes. The Northwest Passage is at the center of an international debate. Canada claims the passage as part of its internal waters, which means that Canada has the right to control access and activity in the passage. However, other countries, including the United States, argue that the Northwest Passage is an international strait. This means that all ships have the right to transit the passage freely. The United States argues that the passage is a vital waterway for international shipping. The debate over the Northwest Passage has implications for security, environmental protection, and resource development. As the passage becomes more ice-free, these issues are likely to become even more pressing. Section 7. Riches of the Arctic, economic opportunities and considerations. The opening of the Northwest Passage presents potential economic opportunities. The Arctic is rich in natural resources, including oil, natural gas, and minerals. The melting ice could make it easier to access and extract these resources. The passage also offers a shorter shipping route between Asia and Europe, which could be beneficial for global trade. It could reduce shipping costs and delivery times. However, any economic activity in the Arctic must be approached with caution. It's important to balance economic development with environmental protection. Tourism is another potential area of growth. More and more people are interested in visiting the Arctic to see the unique wildlife and landscapes. However, it's crucial to manage tourism in a way that minimizes the impact on the environment and respects local communities. Section 8. The future of a watery shortcut. Navigating the Northwest Passage. The future of the Northwest Passage is uncertain. Climate change is likely to continue to have a significant impact on the region. The ice is expected to continue melting, which could make the passage navigable for longer periods. However, the Arctic climate is unpredictable, and there will still be years when the passage is blocked by ice. Navigation will remain a challenge. International cooperation will be essential for managing the Northwest Passage. Countries need to work together to ensure the safety of navigation, protect the environment, and resolve territorial disputes. The Northwest Passage is a reminder of the power of nature and the challenges of climate change. It's a place where history and the future intersect, a region of immense beauty and fragility. Section 9. Conclusion. A passage of change and challenges. The Northwest Passage has long captured the imagination. It was once a frozen barrier, and now it is a symbol of a changing Arctic. The melting ice is opening up new possibilities for exploration, trade, and resource development. However, these opportunities come with significant challenges. We must proceed with caution to protect the fragile Arctic environment, respect indigenous rights, and address the complex political issues surrounding the passage. The Northwest Passage stands as a testament to the interconnectedness of our world. It highlights the global impacts of climate change. As we navigate the future of this icy realm, responsible stewardship and international cooperation will be paramount. The decisions we make today will shape the fate of this remarkable waterway for generations to come.